Hey there, Wastelander. It's McFly back again with another Fallout 76 video. As some of you may know, this week in gaming we have the E3 Gaming Expo, or at least what it's evolved into at this point. And along with it came the Xbox Bethesda showcase, and I had to check it out. Overall, the showcase was pretty cool. I have an Xbox. I don't normally play on an Xbox, but they kind of convinced me in a way. I'd say my favorite part was the pre-show. Just kidding. Obviously, my favorite part was when they aired the new trailer for the new upcoming update, Steel Rain. It was pretty epic, you should check it out. But right when you thought they got you excited for that update, they did the best thing a trailer can do.
What the hell was that? Expedition Squad Delta, report. Over. Squad Delta, what's going on out there? Come on. This isn't funny.
I know you can hear me.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
How cool was that? It looks like we're heading on back to good old Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Or I should say the Pit, that's what it's been called. Or will be called, I guess. The raider and mutated creature infested pit that we know from the year 2277, I think it is. It's a pretty messed up place. I mean, it's gonna be messed up regardless because some bombs dropped, but from what we know, it's a pretty dark and desolate place. But in Fallout 76, the year of our Lord 2103, it could be a lot different. We're talking about 100 plus, 150 plus years here. A lot can change in that time. Or that's one of my biggest questions is this a prequel story? Are we gonna cause the situations that create the pit? Before I start jumping around all willy-nilly, I do want to try and focus this a little bit. So I'm going to block off this whole video with segments starting with this. Birthplace of the Pittsburgh Steelers, heart of the US steel industry, and home of the hoagie. That's right, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now if there's anyone out there that saw this and gave a slight head tilt, surprisingly it makes a lot of sense. Shout out to the Wastelanders that just poke around and talk to random NPCs. If you happen to spend some time over a Foundation and have a couple conversations, you'll learn that the settlers of Foundation actually originated in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, born and bred. My roots went back there for 5 generations. Had to leave though. It's just don't go north. Trust me.
And that's just about the most I could get out of everybody. The gist from what I can gather here is that Paige took the leadership role, gathered all these settlers, and made them all move south. The pit was that bad, so they had to go. Which this kind of gives an answer to my question. The pit must have been that bad overrun with raiders already that they had to move south, so it must already be the pit. I also couldn't get any direct dialogue out of Paige himself, but if you go over and find one of his journal entries, he has a few things to say about his last moments in Pittsburgh.
Well, we've arrived. We're finally here. It's a damn sight better than the pit. Hopefully we can make a better go of things. Now that folks won't be afraid to start families. Some of us forgot what green living things looked like after the war. The only green we saw was the poison lingering in the air of the capital when we left on the last train out of Union Station. There's so much energy to build when you finally think things might be able to last. It's a home. A real home. Finally.
And just in case you need a little bit more convincing, it is literally to the north of our map. I did a map quest from Morgantown, West Virginia to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and they're a lot closer than you think. Some would say an excursion's amount of time, like a short amount of time you spend an activity on, almost like an expedition. Well, judging by the trailer, there's definitely going to be a lot of rubble. So there's that. But other than that, this is the big question. There's a lot at play here considering the big time difference, and narratively, they could have a lot of fun with it. Surprisingly, the trailer does have a lot of hints. The first question in my mind, and probably everyone else's, is will we see Trogs? Or at least maybe like an earlier version of one. They definitely have to exist in some form because the ailment that they suffer from, I think it's the troglodyte something something. The TDC. I forget what the other two words are, but that. Leave it in the comments. Don't leave me uneducated. From what I read about it, it seems to be a more natural FEV virus. It seems to be a heavy dose of radiation mixed with all the pollution that's created in the area from the steelworks industry. In other words, another form of a super mutant, just more meek and frail. Super creepy though. I'm definitely looking forward to popping one of these in the face. Also, I can't tell if it's just because I've watched the trailer 50 million times by now, but I think I hear one in the background. This is some trog noises. And this is what I think is the trog in the trailer. Yeah, I need to get out of the vault more. But let me ask you this. Let's put on our tinfoil hats real quick. And let me ask you, what do you think this is? This part has got to be the craziest part of the trailer for me because it's just got me speculating like crazy. At first, I thought it was something really, really big like a super mutant behemoth stepping forward, you know? Or maybe it even had to do with that body being pulled off, but I just ruled all them out in my brain. And now, I'm onto something even crazier. I shouldn't even say I'm onto it, it's a theory of mine. Let's take a trip over to Seneca Rocks real quick. If you head over to this location, I think it was the Wastelanders update a long time ago now, they pinned up this giant vulture-looking bird thing. I think design-wise, that was the prototype image for a Scorch Beast, but then they reworked it a little bit. But what if, now wait, what if they're gonna repurpose that and that's the thing flying overhead in the trailer? Because I had to think about it, the door slamming, I started to think like paranormal at first, and stomping on the floor doesn't slam a door. And I can't really explain physics too well, but when giant wings or something like that would flood above a house, the suction of air is gonna suck that door in. So it's almost like it's flying by as the trailer is moving out. And then the sound that finally convinced me was the whoosh away. I want to do a full trailer breakdown, so I don't want to get too crazy here. But I don't think it's just a Scorch Beast. Yeah, they could have went north, but I think also the point of expeditions might be to enter another endgame boss. And that might be it. That's where I'm placing my bets, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I kind of can't help myself. Whenever they show some kind of new DLC or something, my head goes right to, what kind of loot can I get? But considering we're heading back to a place that we've already been, maybe we can think of some iconic weapons or maybe outfits that they can incorporate. I can't think of the name of the outfit off the top of my head, but it's like a very iconic raider looking outfit. It's very padded. I just remember it has like the one shoulder piece. As for weapons, just one comes to mind, and I just really hope that they do this. If we could get an auto axe, that would be really cool. And secondly, if you do make an auto axe, please let it drop legendary. I can see it now. Give me like a 3-star Furious auto axe. I don't know what kind of mods it would have, but it'd be pretty cool to tear up some enemies with it. Wow. Just wow. Overall, I just think this is awesome. I can't wait to revisit it and see what they do. I know in the future, the Brotherhood kind of like eviscerated this area, and then it got just even worse with slavery and cannibalism and just a whole mess of bleh. I am curious where the story is going to go, or even what an expedition is. I figured I'd make a separate episode on expeditions as a whole, so I guess expect that down the line. In my opinion, Fallout 3 had one of the best DLCs for a Fallout game. It is kind of nostalgic to me because that's where I started my Fallout journey, but if they just want to revisit Fallout 3 DLCs for this game, I'm down. I would love to go back to Point Lookout. But that's it for me. I'm tired of clicking on things, and I've learned a surprising amount about the steel industry. Leave your comments and theories down below. I love to read them. I'm curious what you guys are all thinking in this. I'm thinking more creatures. Maybe you guys are thinking more raider. I'd like to hear it. Shout out to the channel members at the top of the episode. You guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. And by smacking that like button, you too can save this future baby.